welcome to another edition of Primetime Wrestling. I'm Gorilla Monsoon, along with Jesse the Body Ventura and Bobby the Brain Heenan. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. The Grande Ecuatorianos are back on the track. Así es. Mr. Hollywood Xavier Ballerino here, along with the Equa Dragon and DRC Doya Robalino Cueva. We're ready to roll, people. Yes, we're being kind of like away, letting waves go by, things go by. But now we're back and we're telling it like it is. Because, guys, girls, children of all ages, we have some pretty good news. We have some nasty opinions about it. But, hey, you're welcome also to do it by the comment box in the downstairs section that you see over there. Did you see it? You saw it? Haven't you subscribed yet? You haven't? Then what are you waiting for? We need to listen to your opinions. We need to read them. And we're starting off with a with the introduction, of course. Ecuadragon, welcome back to the fold.
It's good to be back with Zensura. Now, I know the last time was supposed to be 9 o'clock, but it's 8 o'clock now. So, yeah, my apologies from the last time. So that's why we weren't here last week. But it's good to be back in Zensura. The Grande Ecuatoriano ha regresado otra vez aquí on YouTube. And let's see what we're going to talk about today's topic. And I cannot wait to go all out on Raw.
Así es. Sí, pues por supuesto también acompañándonos. Esto es en inglés y en español al mismo tiempo. We're going to do it in Spanglish. If you can understand us in English, then maybe that's what you can do in Spanish. DRC, Dorian Robalino. Hello. How's it going?
Hello. Yo, what's going on? Yeah. Si no sabe traducir, you see translated, you could listen to what we're talking about. Let's see. Moments of how wrestling these days and other ones that are traditional. And the last thing, close my friend, it broke my heart. So we're definitely going to talk about that.
Okay, now we have the comments from the people who are watching us right now. Agustín desde México dice, greetings desde ringside. ¿Qué tal, Agustín? How's it going? Mini Cena versus Almas. Yeah, let's put So before we get into our topics, do you guys think the same as me that midget thing last night on Raw was distasteful?
It's kind of ridiculous, man. And also, that's definitely on the McMahon playbook. Have we done that stuff so many times over the years? Like, you know, before Vince McMahon left the company, how many times that type of joke with a dwarf or a midget or a short person to play as their adversary on WWE? Like, it's, I mean, I don't know if he got offended by a lot of people because, you know, it did work back in the 90s. It was hilarious. But now, since we're 2025, I don't know if anybody else got offended by it. I mean, just remember, guys. Remember, guys. Like, you know, we're in the time that people like to get offended and stuff like this, man. But I don't see anything distasteful. But it wasn't that funny because that type of stuff is kind of childish, man. I mean, it wasn't that funny. I mean, I don't know. But I heard about this guy. But I heard that the guy who played as Mini John Cena, I heard that he's also a pro wrestler. I read online about it. And the guy who was, and also one of the cameramen who was recording Mini Cena, he's also a pro wrestler too. But yeah, honestly though, man, it didn't feel distasteful, but it wasn't that funny because it's so unoriginal. It was.
Hunter,
I mean,
Hunter, it's the 90s. They want their midgets back.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, I that's why we skipped this. I said we skipped the subject about it, but all we know is the moral of that Saturday, we know that our boy Pistol Plumnik is going to get his Intercontinental nose back.
Yeah, it was a nice short run. We'll deserve it, so let's leave it at that. Let's leave it.
It's going to happen. Yeah.
We're starting off with our boys, not the New Day, but our boys from AEW. Now, what's the deal here with Hangman Adam Page? He was supposed to be the face of the company. He was supposed to be the heavyweight champion, the guy who was going to take the place to the next era per se. And all of a sudden, he just kind of like he came and went. Because now Samoa Joe is the new champion. Now, don't get me wrong. I am a big fan of Samoa Joe, had been ever since his indie days, his days in TNA, Ring of Honor. But what was the purpose of building so much Hangman Adam Page if he was going to have a short run and lose it to Samoa Joe? Which, by the way, I have to say was a great cage match, by the way. But what's the deal of building up Hangman as the next bona fide superstar if you're just going to have him? How long was he the world champion? What, a month, 2 months, 3 months?
It's been like
it's in the summertime.
4 months since July. So right now it's gonna be like almost 4 months.
4 months.
Since 4 months. 4 months since he won an All In Texas.
Not enough.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do get the fact that AEW almost has this WCW NWA vibe of changing belts, changing titles. But my question is, why would you build that so much on the Hangman train if you're going to make him lose to Samoa Joe? Isn't he over enough? Isn't he worthy enough to carry, not the company, but at least, let him have the belt until perhaps, January or February of next year? That to me would make sense. Having a little nice run, a little longer, so he can lose it to Samoa Joe, and then we can go from there. But 4 months, and then all of a sudden he loses it. So what's the deal here? Has Hangman got hung by AEW, and what would be the reason to put over Joe, who's not even going to be around longer? Because I believe that he's going to go once again to shoot his TV series. I think they're in the 3rd season, and Joe is going to disappear. So what's the deal with putting him the belt? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Anyone? I'm going to start off this time with Dorian. Hang on, Ecuador. Your take on the situation with Page.
Okay, so
hold on. The only thing that was worth of that now he's pairing with Swerve Strickland. Was that the case to make them a tag team? Okay, Dorian, you're saying.
I mean, before they gave the belt to Hangman, the plan was originally supposed to be for Darby Allin, but because Darby Allin chose to want to go to Mount Everest to climb the mountain to put the AEW flag on that, so they had to hold that for plan, because you remember that was the plan for Darby to win the world title and hold it until, I don't know, maybe lose it to MJF. But MJF is probably out doing movies and stuff like that. He's focused on more an acting career than being in wrestling. So there was no point of it. So the second option was Hangman or Ospreay. But because Ospreay dealing with some neck issue, so he cannot do anything. So the best chance to ever is Hangman. So Hangman got the #1 contender, and he beat Moxley and finally got pursued the GOAT champion and brought it back to AEW, and the storyline is supposed to be for Darby Allin. So regardless of that, for nearly 4 months now, remember, Joe just turned heel. So they made a storyline to him, and you know what this means. So you turn people heels or turn them that means there might be title changes, and it feels like it was going to be a title change, but I kind of said, let's see what they're going to do. If Hangman somehow survived, I thought maybe MJF is coming back, but it seems it's not the case. So now I see that maybe he's dropping the belt so that maybe continue the chase, because he's already been chasing. He finally pursued the goal. What was it, twice or 3 times that he became a champion? Hangman. So so now back to another chase, or maybe back to ally with Swerve. And Swerve, by the way, he looks in a tremendous huge shape with a lot of muscles now. So we'll see what the story with this thing. And here's another thing about Samoa Joe. Remember, next year, this is it for him. Maybe Tony Khan is giving him the belt for a last run.
Last run. Well, everybody's leaving. Everybody's leaving. Sadly.
Did you see the interview of him with Chris Van Dijk or I don't know who else? He did said this contract that he signed, this is going to be his last.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's leaving. Seth is leaving. AJ is leaving. Cena is leaving. Joe is leaving. Who else is gonna leave?
Cody.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Cody did said this contract he signed, this is his last one, and I think he wants to do behind the scenes.
Oh, well, that will be a change. That will be a hell of a change. What about you, Ecuadron?
I got nothing against it. Like when he lost the title, like I knew for the fact that he was gonna lose. But out of nowhere, man, I knew there was something strange about the steel cage match. When Hook came to the ring, did you notice in front of the camera when he grabbed the AEW World title, he smirked in front of the camera? We all know he just spoiled us in front of us, man, that he was going to screw Hangman, and he did, and it happened. Now, Samoa Joe became champion. I was happy about it. Now you guys saying that he got hung or probably got fucked over by AEW? I don't think so. I mean, what is the point of him pursuing Samoa Joe again? I mean, he feuded with him like probably a couple of times before. I mean, while he was champion, and also like I think he did feud with Samoa Joe like probably when Samoa was probably I think he was a face. I think it was last year or something like that. So nothing against it, man. Like I'm glad that Hangman became 2-time champion. We all know that the original plan was that Dorian was going to face Moxley at Texas, but then it was scripted because, you know, the guy, he wanted to go all the way to the mountain just to live up his dream. It's a miracle that he's alive. And then Hangman just took the position. Yeah, the spot, position, the same thing, but like since Hangman lost the title, I don't think he got hung. He's fine. Doesn't hurt him. He's a 2-time world champion. There's nothing against it. So I'm thinking that it's going to be some kind of an alliance with Swerve, which surprisingly, when I saw this man returning to the company, I mean, returning from whatever he was doing for 3 or 4 months, he looked like a different person. He was injured. Okay, yeah, he was injured. But did you notice that?
He had to clean his knee.
Yeah, but you noticed that he looked really jacked. He looked so different from last time. Mm-hmm. And he grew his beard and mustache and everything. So that it surprised the shit out of me. There's a possibility that maybe Swerve might probably pursue that title, but I know in the end he's not gonna win it against Samoa Joe. So for Hangman, never know. Man, he's fine. I mean, I'm just saying, man, it might be Swerve, but the thing is, I don't think Swerve's gonna like beat Samoa Joe. It might be somebody else. MGF, there's no way that MGF is gonna like cash in and go after Samoa Joe, because you know how AEW, when they try to book heels against heels and it doesn't become successful. We've seen that in AEW, and it was. I know, but remember the story that he lost the belt from Samoa Joe. Yeah, who? That's another story. Who? MJF. Remember, he lost the belt. MJF? He lost the belt from Samoa Joe. But the thing is, we got to see how the story goes, because we don't want to see MJF becoming a babyface again, because that fucking I mean, it worked. It worked. It worked.
The only reason the MJF face turn worked as it did, it was because of Adam Cole.
That's what I was going to say. That's why. But when he's alone as a heel, he's tremendous because he's a natural heel. But as a face alone, it didn't work. It didn't feel right. Didn't Chris Jericho said that, oh, you're going to be a face, you're going to be the biggest baby face. It did work, but then a couple of months it wasn't working. It didn't went well. Adam Cole turned heel, took out MJF. MJF came back as a face, and then it went vice versa. You know the disaster we had last year in 2024 with Adam and MJF. Mm-hmm. So how we're going to So how we're going to explain MJF returning as a face and going after Samoa Joe for the title? He did say he wants to pursue the title, but how we're going to work on that, because we don't want to see a face MJF against a heel Samoa Joe. So maybe MJF might become a tweener, maybe? I don't know, because I love tweeners, man. I don't like that, like either a face or a heel. Maybe he might become a tweener. And I love tweener wrestlers, man, because they're not bad guy or good guy. They're like, it's like the same thing with Stone Cold and The Rock from back then. They're tweeners. They were never faces or heels because they were tweeners. So for Hangman, it doesn't hurt him. He's not hung on AEW. He's perfectly fine. If he's going to be allied with Swerve, I can't wait to see that. You may never know. They might team up together, become allies, go after the Obs, or maybe they might probably have somebody else to go after the trios titles, or pursue the World Tag Team Championship. I mean,
That-
Hangman was a former tag team champ,
I
and
believe,
Swerve too.
I believe perhaps that's going to be the direction because
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
it's either Hangman
Absolutely.
and Swerve going against Joe, but in the midst of that, they're gonna face up with FTR. So I think they're gonna
Yeah,
get a little run with the tag belt.
FTR. I mean, they might feud FTR, but I don't think that's going to happen because we know FTR is going to get feuded with the returning Edge and Christian. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage because they got some unfinished business. So what's the point of having Swerve and Hangman against FTR? They got to have something. They got to have some kind of a story to have to start with that feud. But we all know that FTR is going to get pursued by Copeland and Cage. So Hangman is fine. He's not hunged. It happens. Samoa Joe, since I heard that Dorian said that Joe might be finishing next year, man, that's what's going to happen. He's going to drop the belt with somebody else, either with Swerve, possibly MGF, like you guys said, or since Darby's back, maybe Darby might go after the title. People are criticizing about Darby becoming world champion, but you don't know. It is called the World Championship, not the World Heavyweight Championship. So we'll see. I mean, the original plan was Darby to win the belt against the Plumber, but we'll see what happens next year in 2026.
And the Plumber is about to get the boot, by the way, by his own guys.
Yes, and also, and from the looks of it, when I saw the pay-per-view, the look on the Death Riders, man, aka Moxley Plumbing Industry, it looks like they're gonna turn on him, and I think Pac might be the new leader. It might kick out Moxley because you see how Moxley's been getting his ass kicked and also submitted by Kyle O'Reilly. And Kyle O'Reilly is a hell of a wrestler. Dorian and I seen this man wrestle at the Independence. Remember Dorian as Red Dragon?
Yes,
they're
with him
an
and
amazing team.
Bobby Fish.
And Bobby Fish, which Bobby Fish is no longer in wrestling because I heard he's retired right now. He's not the same anymore. Especially having a little bit of a beef with his old partner. That's what I heard. But it looks like that even though this is off the subject with Hangman, it looks like that Moxley might get booted out by his own Death Riders and stuff. So we'll see what happens. Hangman is not hunged. He's fine. He's okay. We got plenty of future wrestlers in AEW become world champion, but we gotta live it up. Darby Allin is one of them. MJF is one of them. We don't know who else is going to be world champion. So Hangman will be fine. He'll be probably like teaming up with Swerve, either for the tag titles or have somebody else join forces with them to go after the trios from the Ops.
Mm-hmm. More comments coming our way. David Eduardo Uribe dice, saludos muchachos. Do you guys remember those matches between Joe and Low Key? Damn. Stiff. That was stiff. Yeah, definitely.
Low Key is one of the stiffest wrestlers in pro wrestling. I seen that man. Heard a lot of stories from independents that this man hits fucking hard because, even though in pro wrestling you got to be safe and stuff, but that man don't give a shit. He will fucking kick the shit out of you. I seen it. He's the real deal. But the thing is, man, back then, this man was not that disciplined. But now he's different now. But the guy is a badass. Like he's like my height, but he's.
Remember, we got a picture of him.
And speaking of those two guys, Low Key and Samoa Joe, they were both featured very, very heavily back in the good old winning days of TNA. And speaking of TNA, there's this guy right here, which brings us to our second topic, is about what is going on with Mike Santana. What's Santana's worth to TNA? Why am I saying that? Because they built up such a wonderful story around him. The fact of the matter is that they're building stories a la Cody Rhodes. First with Hangman Adam Page and Jon Moxley, and now with Mike Santana trying to get back the TNA title from Trick Williams from NXT/WWE. They built it so much, so great. So they finally, TNA gives him the chance to become the world champion. And what happens? They go into hiatus. They start, running specials about backstage things and all that stuff. And Santana just, okay, he's the world champion. Great, beautiful. We all were there. We celebrated. We were happy for him. We just said, okay, so this is the time for TNA not to make the same mistake they did with Joe Hendry, who, by the way, now is WWE bound. He's already signed. They lost him. So I always said that TNA needed a new face because they lost a great performer in Joe Hendry. They let him go. The same thing happened with Jordan Grace. And sorry. And what happens? Oh, by the way, Josh Alexander as well. He went off to AEW. Look at where he's now, serving as a lackey. Great, Uncle Tony. Great. Put him as a lackey to the Jackal. So what happens? What happens when Mike Santana makes his very first title defense? Oh, he won. Yeah, he won. Because my big brother couldn't make it, so I decided to step in. But here comes Frankie the Future Kazarian, and he takes it. Carlos Silva, what the hell are you thinking? Tommy Dreamer, what the hell are you thinking? Why did you pull this whole Cody Rhodes story with Mike Santana to make him a champion that only didn't show up on TV, and the first thing he does is lose the belt? Why did you give him the belt in the first place? We're telling everybody that TNA is doing great, even though they're a miniaturized roster. They need a face. They need someone who can step up as the face of the company. They didn't do it with Joe Hendry. It was a time for Mike Santana. They were delaying it. Finally, he gets the belt from the NXT TNA crossover. He doesn't show up. No shows, no nothing. First time, he loses the belt. Okay, so here are the things. There are rumors. These are the rumors. Apparently, the first rumor was that he was injured. Where did that injury came from? I don't know. The second, it's because Mike was not drawing. He was not drawing numbers. He was not drawing views. He was, I hate to say this because he's a great worker. He's a great worker. But apparently, he was an okay champion. He was an okay. He was not a great champion like Joe Hendry. He was an okay champion. Okay, that's fine. Third, his contract is coming up. And he's going to the WWE. He's going to NXT. Apparently, it's a sealed deal. He's going to NXT next year. Okay, I understand that. But how long was Mike Santana the champion? The same question as Hangman Adam Page. And this is not months. This was weeks. 2 or 3 weeks. This time I'm starting you with Ecuadragon.
I'm sorry.
You know, like ever since he won that title, do you guys realize that for weeks we were waiting for Mike Santana to make his address as the champion? And how long we took? Like weeks, like Hollywood said. Do you guys remember that after he won the title, we were waiting for Mike Santana to show up on Impact the next week? The Impact after Bound for Glory, where did he go? Right? Like, do you guys realize that? Like, what happened? Like, you know, when a champion wins, he's supposed to show up on one of the weekly episodes, but he didn't show up. He showed up, almost 3 or 4 weeks later? And then he addressed to become champion, and then all of a sudden he said he was going to defend it. And then, I didn't watch I didn't watch the episode, but then when I read online, when I checked my phone, it said that Mike lost the title. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? What do you mean he lost the title? And then I had to watch the highlights, and I was shocked when I found out that the idiots from NXT interrupted the fucking show. Interrupted the match, and then suddenly Frankie Kazarian showed up, cashed it in, and took out Mike Santana to become champion, which I don't know what the fuck happened. And then the word's going around, which I just learned right now from Hollywood, that I did not know that Mike Santana's contract was going to expire. I was not aware of that. And number two, I didn't know anything about like there's a possibility he might go to the WWE going to NXT, because when he went to NXT, he was pretty over. I don't know what's going on. Like you saw what John Henry when he showed up to NXT while he was under contract, he was getting really over because I mean, what do you expect? I mean, the guy is really over, and we saw the evidence at WrestleMania. Will that happen to Mike Santana? I'm not really sure. Santana, I've been a fan of his since his House of Glory days, and also in Impact while he was with LAX and and also along with Ortiz. He's an amazing wrestler, an amazing singles wrestler. But the thing is, man, I grew up like I used to watch him as a tag team guy along with Ortiz. Dorian knows about it anyway. So I just don't understand what the hell happened. What is the point of putting this man with this title? And I was rooting for this man to become TNA World Champion. He did make history, but the thing is, what is the deal with TNA trying to fuck him over, man? Because the celebration he had with his daughter, it was going great. Then suddenly they try to interrupt them just to have Nick Nemeth to cash in the win the gauntlet, whatever you want to call it, with that damn trophy. I don't know what's it called. And they try to ruin it, and good thing they continue with the celebration. And then after that, where was Santana, our world champion, for weeks? He disappeared. Maybe TNA told her, oh, we got to wait. And like they said, that it wasn't drawing anything. But we got a lot of fans who love Santana. Maybe, I guess he was not worth to, like, you know, to have like money, draw money and stuff like that on TNA. So maybe we don't know if he's going to like make some draws over there in NXT if he signs with the WWE. We don't know. But I just don't understand. What is the problem with TNA with Santana? Mm-hmm. And they try to push this man. He had, I don't know, what is it? Like probably the best opportunity, the best chance from Slammiversary in New York. That was the biggest opportunity, the biggest chance. That was the moment for this man to win that title, and they fucked it up at his home state. But then he won it at another state, which is not his home state. But Slammiversary would have been the best night, the great opportunity for this man to win it. But why did TNA didn't pull the trigger? I just don't understand. I don't get it. So is he worth it for TNA? I don't know. Like this man came back to TNA last year. People were popping. They popped when he made his return. And then a year later, a year since his return to TNA, don't know what happened. Now he became champion. He became champion. And then suddenly he lost it after his first title match. Does TNA got issues with Santana or something? Like, I just don't get it. Amazing wrestler, but it seems like he's not drawing that much. So I hope if he does go to NXT, I know he's going to be a bigger star, because you saw what happened with all the other wrestlers who went to NXT. Some of them came from AEW, some came from TNA. They won titles so quickly. Look at Ethan Page. Look at Ricky Saints, and among others also. Joe Hendry, I don't know if he's going to win like the NXT title one. Blake Monroe also. There you go, Blake Monroe. It looks like that most of the former AEW wrestlers, possibly Santana, are winning their titles so quickly, so early. Like Blake just showed up a few months ago, and now she's the North American champion. Ricky Saints showed up a couple of months ago. Now he's the NXT champion. It's really crazy. It's just they're pushing some of the wrestlers who weren't in AEW, never get their time to shine.
It's because
and now they're pushing them.
It's because WWE wants to screw AEW over.
Yeah, they want to do that because they want to show that, oh, look what we're doing with your talent, because you didn't push it, you didn't put them really well.
The only one who can hold the exception of the rule is Jade Cargill.
Oh yeah, and there you go. And now Jade Cargill is in the top of the mountain on SmackDown. So will it happen to Santana NXT? We'll see what happens if he arrives like next year. When does his contract expire anyway? Hollywood asked me, like, I didn't know anything about it, but like when is this expired on TNA?
I'm gonna let now Dorian have his say, because he's dying to talk about this. So
sure, no problem. But yeah, like before Dorian go, Is he worth for CNA? Well, it looks like it's not. If he's leaving, let him leave. He's wasting his time because Santana is a major star in my book. So hopefully that he becomes a bigger star in WWE.
Goldie, man.
Go ahead, Goldie.
Hats off. Here we go.
Yep. Let's do it. Oh boy.
All right. So here's what I heard. I heard the reason they did this shit, and I'm gonna say this because of all the stupid storyline with WWE NXT bullshit. I apologize for me to curse because this is the thing what ticks me off with all this. The summertime. This is his moment for him to be champion at his home state and his hometown. Everybody was being there to want to see him win the title at home. They bought their pay-per-views and everything just to see this man win. But instead of that, they screwed him over because of the because of the Trick Williams doing the fake injury. And I saw that coming, by the way. I knew that this is going to be a screwed up, and I guess Trick Williams is still going to hold that belt. So that means Santana's going to win in Boston, well, not Boston, Lower Massachusetts. Shout out to Eva. She lives over there, by the way, in Lower Massachusetts. So shout out to her. So, okay, finally he got his moment. And then 32 days later, he dropped the title so quickly, and I was very upset with this. So what I'm hearing is just a stupid storyline because of NXT. So you wasted a guy that never defended the title, never had the shine to show drawing ratings for events and everything. House of Glory, he drew events. In areas like the AEW when he was with Jericho and all stuff, they drew a crowd and all stuff. So why not give him a little more time and chance there? And here's the thing about the set. If y'all were going to plan to do this thing, they should have given him the title in New York and then kind of defend the title right there. Then maybe screwed him to do that, to give it to Kazarian or Nemeth to win the title. So the point is just the stupid storyline for NXT. And I got a message. This is going to be a short one. I got a message for NXT and anyone that created this idea that making Santana lose the title for this shit. If it's true that this contract is up for TNA, and if he's coming to NXT, you better. And I'm going to say this man deserved better. He worked his ass off. He had a 1,000+ days sober dealing with his personal life. Believe me, I know how that is because I have my personal issue. I don't have like drugs or anything like that, but I have depression and all that I've been dealing with. A lot of stuff that I was dealing with in my personal life, I ain't gonna lie about it. But days like this man deserve a lot. He dealt with an injury that wasn't no reason from AEW doing the blood and guts thing and out for a year for doing a spot. And then when you know the man returning to help out his former tag team partner, and I said it to everybody that they're not on the same page anymore because I know that they're separated, because I know they're not talking to each other, but they wish each other the best. So Santana wants to do stuff, and I just said it to you guys that Santana is leaving, but he's going to take a low in the Indies, which is House of Glory. But what I know is definitely he might going back to TNA. He wants to pursue that goal, maybe to win at least a single championship. And definitely, this man is a guarantee to be a world champion. And we were right about that. But the only thing that we were pissed off about is a short run. It was a very, very short run that he gave him the title, which is ridiculous. The same thing what they did to this poor girl from NXT. She had that title. She beat Jessie Jane, whatever her name, and then all of a sudden they gave the title back to her. I'd rather her going to not the girl that won I forgot, Paxi. The other one, she should go to the main roster. I think her and her whole group definitely need to go to the main roster. Sorry. Now back to Santana. If y'all gonna sign him, y'all better not fuck him up. Excuse my language. Y'all better not screw him. Y'all better give him a guy that really is gonna get, and they better give him a good name. If it's gonna be Mike Santana, better keep that Mike Santana name because if you're gonna change his name, it better be a good name for him to represent for not just for Puerto Rico, but representing for our people Latinos. For him to be one day to be an NXT champion or North American champion or the Cup champion, whatever, it doesn't matter. But also, by the time he gets there, he better be in the main roster, at least win a belt or do something good for him, for his career, and for his future. Y'all better not screw his future. That's all I got to say.
Well, I have to say that it kind of like saddens me the fact that the TNA is losing hand over the collab with NXT. They, to me, it's kind of like a slap in the face of making a champion out of something that they're not going to be very worried about. Why am I saying this? Because why would you build someone the way they did with Mike just to have him lose? At least, maybe an interview or perhaps, an appearance or something. They should have done something. To me, I don't know what the hell is wrong with Carlos Silva and Tommy Dreamer. I don't know what the hell is going on over there. And if it is about the NXT brand, guys, come on. I know that the alliance is very good for all parties involved, but you can only take it so far. I mean, you're not going to sacrifice your champion over an NXT story. What's the deal? What are they going to have? So let me get this straight. If it is about the NXT thing, so who is Frankie Kazarian going to defend the belt against? I don't get it. Who's in line? Oh, what, Family? Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints, Trick Williams again? Who? If it is,
I don't know. I don't care. That's what I say.
I just don't want another NXT wrestler to challenge the TNA title ever again. Like, you see, like, I knew there was something really wrong with this alliance with TNA. I mean, do you guys remember when before Scott D'Amore got fired and all the other employees who was doing really good with TNA management, it was going all peachy and stuff with the alliance and stuff. This is way before. This is before they signed some multi-year contract partnership with WWE, like a partnership, because when Scott D'Amore was in charge, WWE had no issue with it because, Scott D'Amore was really protective with the TNA talent. You guys know that, right? Like, he was very protective with them. He was very protective. And then suddenly the higher-ups in Anthem wanted, like, they don't want to like do what Scott D'Amore was requesting. He wanted this, he wanted that. When this man said that he wanted to buy the company, that's when Anthem got really scared. Like, oh no, because if we lose TNA, if Scott D'Amore buys it, then we're going to lose it. They have to fire him because they're doing in favor with WWE. Now where we are right now, I know TNA is an amazing company. They've been around for 2 decades and stuff, but this alliance is getting kind of ridiculous, especially having too many times each and every week having some NXT talent fucking everything up, interfering in matches, invading and shit. It's ridiculous. And the same thing goes, let's see. Now, AAA, I get it. Been purchased by WWE. Do you guys notice that most of the titles in AAA are in possession by WWE superstars? Yeah. Dominic has the AAA the mega title. Chelsea and Ethan has the mixed titles. And then like last time, the Garzas had the AAA tag titles. Why does the other side don't have no WWE titles? They're being greedy. You guys know that, right? Like if you guys want to work with this partnership, why don't you share with them, man? Why not have like one of the WWE titles being possession by another promotion? They don't want to do that.
That's not going to happen. As long
as they have
the McMahon mind, it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, because let's see, McMahon, the old man, is out, but the fucking company is still the same fucking system. It will never change it. Even if you have some new people running in the office, especially the guy who has the long beard, not like me, and bald, and has a bigger nose than mine, running the fucking show, is still the same mindset like the old man. the same company has the same fucking system, and they will never play fair with the other company. If they're going to be asking, hey, can we have one of your titles? I guarantee you, of course. Guess what? They'll give the most useless title. What? The speed title to a triple A to a triple A wrestler or a TNA wrestler. What, the speed title? I think they could probably do that because that title's the most useless title ever, man. Like, give me a break. They don't play fair. I mean, look, I heard that AAA is doing great right now under the management of WWE because I've been hearing there's some new viewers going on the YouTube channel of AAA because WWE is bringing some of the talent because there's WWE superstars. I understand that, but you got to play.
You know
fair.
who's signed too, right?
Say that again.
You know who's signed to be part of the producer team?
No. Who?
Chavo.
Ah, yeah, they brought him back. They brought him back for
I heard about that. I heard about that too, Chavo. And speaking of some of the talent who's been signed, you know who was under employment with AEW all this time, and now he's no longer under contract anymore, and he lost the one opportunity. You know who it is, and he's not that important. You know who it is? You know who? Huh?
Russo's not.
Guess what? Guess what? He's not a wrestler. He was an announcer. You know who didn't get released? He no longer under employment with AEW. Tony Schimmel. Tony Schimmel.
Oh, I just found out today.
Tony Schimmel, the guy who says, "Oh, the rated R superstar." Guess what, man? He lost his chance to do that announcement while Adam Cole was in AEW. Can you imagine that guy popping out of nowhere and AEW television and making that announcement of the rated R superstar Adam Copeland? Found out that this guy is no longer with AEW, so he was hiding all this time.
Huh.
Like, what the hell? I mean, I just don't get it. We lost the chance to see this man make the announcement of. Imagine if Adam Cole made his return, like maybe next month at World's End, and he would have made that announcement. But now we lost that chance. I don't know. But you know what, man? Like, here's the thing I want to say. I'm like, here's the thing. If Santana goes to WWE and NXT, I'll be happy. But I'm concerned that what if they're going to make the same treatment like what happened in TNA? I mean, Joe Hendry is now signed with WWE. Wonder how this man's going to be going over. I mean, he is over because of his talent. Jordan Grace, well, they changed her theme song, and she still wants to become NXT Women's Champion. Like, when that's going to happen?
She should be main roster bound. I don't understand why she's still in NXT. Go to the freaking main roster. Main roster bound really need some more. She should be in main roster. I don't understand. Honor and Sean, why?
You see the irony here. The irony here is that Jordan Grace, who was an unstoppable female monster on TNA when she was a Knockouts champion, is trapped on NXT, while Jade Cargill, who was the Goldberg of AEW, went all the way to the main roster. Wow. Talk about
And you know what else too? And you know what else too? When Stephanie and Juliet signed with the WWE, and then a few months later, they went to the main roster. And Julia, she said in an interview she wasn't ready. They pushed her ass straight to the main roster. She wasn't ready because she had to practice her English. But so far, I'm glad they had a mouthpiece to keep her busy. While she's wrestling and while the mouthpiece is talking, she's studying English. She's improving. Stephanie also. They pushed her too fast to go to the main roster because she's over because, you know, she has the look and everything and stuff. But they don't want to put Jordan Grace in the main roster, man, because this woman, she was a dominant force in TNA and in Independence also. I just don't understand why she's still stuck there. And Joe Hendry, like, he would go to the main roster, but not yet because he's getting more. Yeah, exactly. Not yet. Now you give it like probably 2 or 3 years or so because
not that much. I'll give it a year and a half. Once when he gets his stuff together, at least win a title and give him good matches. If they like him, they'll bring him in like that. You know, like look at the Stephanie Becerra and Julia.
A year.
I'll give him 2 years. I'll give him 2 years. But
I'll give him a year.
I'll give it to
I'll give him 2 years. But while he's in NXT, I hope he does become NXT champion. And if he accomplishes that accomplishment, becoming champion, then like after the 2 years, he'll go straight to the main roster. But Jordan Grace,
you know why I give it a year? You know why I give it him a year?
Why?
Guess who's coming back next year? Guess who's coming back next year?
Oh, you mean the guy who breaks the walls?
Jericho?
That's what I said. Break the walls, right?
Yep, both of you said it. I said it because you can see Joe. I can see Joe Henry and Jericho working programs with them. Think about it. I will bring him next year. Call it. I'm calling it next year.
But the thing is that if Jericho does make his return to WWE, he's going to go straight to the main roster. But he might make some special appearances in NXT if he bumps into Joe Henry. I'm just saying that. Now that will be really interesting because hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. Now, if Joe Henry and Chris Jericho feuded, it will be probably the feud of the year because let's see, one, both of them are amazing wrestlers. Number two, they're both musicians. And three, they know how to talk shit very, very well without a lot of profanity.
Exactly.
Now that's a match. That's a feud of dreams, man, and that will turn it into reality. Now you see that. Like now, I thought about that. Now imagine Chris Jericho making a song about Joe Henry, and then Joe Henry makes the return and makes a song about Jericho. Oh my goodness! Now you see. Now you see what I'm saying right here.
Where that would start at the Royal Rumble.
In the Rumble. Oh yes. If Joe Henry shows in the Rumble and Jericho shows in the Rumble and they bumped into each other, man. Oh my God.
There it is.
And then guess what? And they got to start a feud. They got to start a feud in January. And then when it comes to WrestleMania at Las Vegas, they got to have a match together. They got to have a match together. And also during the weekly episodes before WrestleMania, they got to have some kind of a musical battle, just like the Rock concert and also the John Cena rap. Back when they were feuding together, they got to do the same thing. But the difference is that John Cena is a musician, The Rock is not. But these two, multi-talented, imagine the diss tracks and the songs they make against each other in the weekly episodes before the build-up for WrestleMania. Imagine that, guys. That will be the feud of the year.
You better be taking notes, Hunter. You better be taking notes out of what we're saying.
You see, and this is the guy, and this guy right here. I have a big nose like Triple H. I have a beard like him. I'm not that bold. I just put an idea for you, Hunter. You hear me out? Triple H? I give you a fucking idea. And also, if Jericho shows up to NXT for Joe Henry, Sean, put some notes on it, man. I know that NXT is on right now because it's 9 o'clock. But for fuck's sakes, man, think about it, man. Come on. Imagine how much money they made with Jericho and Joe Henry. These two multi-talented men who can fucking wrestle.
That's what I said.
Who can write
That's
songs.
what I've been saying this whole time.
You see, three guys on the internet right now. We're talking about this right now. Imagine the songs. Imagine Jericho being mocked by Joe Henry let's see, Jericho making fun of Joe Henry being a meme. Imagine that Joe Henry making fun of Jericho's appearance because he changed his fucking body and stuff, and also being cringe at the other promotion. You see, now I'm putting some ideas right now. Do you get that, man? Like, come on. Think about it. The hilarity of some of the lyrics that Joe Henry will put on Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho putting some, I don't know what kind of jokes because, back in prime Jericho, he knew how to fucking becomes fucking savage, man. You guys remember back then in the 2000s when Jericho was in WWF, dissing the shit out of The Rock, but his greatest victim, you know who was his greatest victim in WWF when he makes jokes and roasts, right? You know who it is, right? Fucking Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Now, imagine that was the great memory back then, man.
Yes.
I will destroy this. I'm going to destroy this beast, and you too, Rhino.
He's like that steamy. He's like that steamy, disgusting. I'm gonna get you too, Rhino.
Oh, man. Walter in the John Cena tournament. Agustín Rosado says, save us, Walter in the John Cena tournament.
He already gave us the prediction anyway. It's gonna happen anyway, man. But yeah, Hunter, Triple H, Paul, whatever your fucking name is, man, or Mr. Stephanie McMahon. Mr. Stephanie McMahon. Think about that. Think about the greatest feud in 2026 with Chris Jericho making his return feuding with Joe Hendry, the musical concerts on Raw or SmackDown, and then the match they have at WrestleMania. Both amazing wrestlers, even though Chris Jericho can still go. But, you know, remember last time when he was wrestling in AEW, he was kind of sluggish. I remember one time that he did a moonsault line, so he almost fucked up his neck. He almost did. I remember that one time on Dynamite. But yeah, think about it, Hunter. Think about it.
All right, and one more thing I'm going to say. Reminder about this person said about this. I better not see Jey Uso and Walter in the finals. I better see LA Knight versus Walter, because I'm not want to see another Jey Uso versus Walter in the finals. That's all I got to say.
And guess what? It's gonna fucking happen. We're gonna see fucking Bultoso.
And also the general is gonna win. It's not gonna be the Yeet Man. It's not gonna happen. Fuck that shit.
It's not that. It's just that I don't want to see another one of these guys again. Pull LA Knight. I'd rather have LA Knight.
Oh no, you don't want to see it. I know this guy doesn't want to see it. I don't want to see it, but unfortunately, the money machine.
We're saying it
works like that. They're gonna.
I know we're saying it.
And Jey Uso on the semifinals, so Walter can beat the living shit out of Uso and go on to Saturday Night's Main Event to beat the living Cena out of John.
And Rikishi crying.
And also, let's see. Also, the 4 words for Walter, he has to do one objective: beat up John Cena. Just beat up John Cena.
Good old times with JJ Styles.
And speaking of beat up, this brings us to our main event of the night. Okay, so speaking of beating up, I don't know what kind of drum is the Hitman Bret Hart beating on these days, but it appears that our great Canadian champion is living on sour grapes. Recently, he made an interview in which he basically destroyed the sport as it is, talking about Sheamus and his weak punches, telling what kind of sleazeballs Hulk Hogan and Jake the Snake Roberts are, putting over Brock Lesnar, but he's not Goldberg. When are you going to give it a stop, Brett? We know that you're traumatized with Goldberg. We know that you're traumatized because he put you out of your great career. But let's face it, you're in WCW, we're wrestling for peanuts. You weren't doing something that meaningful. Let's face it. But okay, it's okay, it's all right. And now the topping of the cake, all of a sudden, it's not Tammy Sitch. No, he wasn't sleeping with Tammy Sitch. Then who was he sleeping with? Vince McMahon. Why did he have so many opportunities? I really thought I did my Sherlock Holmes, and all of a sudden now I get it. In the original song of Triple H, My Time, there's a line that said, "Do you know who's sleeping with who?" Well, apparently years later, the Hitman finally found out who's sleeping with who. Brett, what are you? What's wrong with you? I mean. For the life of me, I'm speechless. I'm speechless because this is kind of going into a loop. I don't know if Brett needs some attention, he needs a hug or something, because he's blasting the internet, but for all the wrong reasons. Okay, so I really don't understand. I don't know if it was the questions, if they got him in a bad day. Why has Brett become the Dynamite Kid of modern day wrestling? This is beyond me. And why I'm saying Dynamite, because Dynamite used to do the same thing prior to his passing. He used to bash just about everything that there was in the wrestling world back in those days. He didn't care for anyone. He didn't like anyone. He didn't like the style. He didn't like the ring. He didn't like the wrestler, the theme song. They didn't like anything. He just wanted to live in a cave. And apparently, from the looks of it, Brett is going the same way. Live and let die. Live on. My friend, your better days are past behind you, but we still remember your legacy as one of the great ones. You're still the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be as a tag team champion, intercontinental champion, world champion. Yeah, world champion of the wrong era perhaps, but you were a world champion nonetheless. And I know that you're still bitter over the fact that Hulk Hogan screwed you at WrestleMania 9. I know that you're still upset over the fact that Bill Goldberg gave you a concussion. I still understand a lot of things that you're criticizing, but you can't go out on an interview and destroy just about everything there is because you want to pass out as a mad old timer. Hell, not even Jim Cornette does this kind of shit.
Oh, he already said a lot about what happened to the national championship. Oh boy.
To make matters worse, go on, DB. You start this one.
Okay, I could have sworn that he put over Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he put over Brock Lesnar, but he's not Goldberg. That's what I meant.
Yeah, because he said that.
By the way, he said that Rey Mysterio is the greatest of all time. He said Goldberg is Brock Lesnar is a great wrestler. He's a great athlete, but he's not Bill Goldberg. Go.
I mean, I thought because Goldberg don't hurt, but he showed a lot. But anyway, so I think it's a lot that when you get to the point that all right, I'm no longer in the business. I got a lot of mine going on, and his age and all stuff is unfortunately, a lot of personal things that he got in his mind. I know he's still regret about both Hogan and Jake the Snake because Jake was talking mad shit about him and all that stuff. Especially, Jake is not in best terms with the Hart family, especially with the Bulldog. If you remember, I don't know if you know the incident what happened with Harry Smith and Jake the Snake.
No. That one
he slapped him. There's a convention a couple of years ago. He slapped Jake because he said something something about his dad.
Yeah, I remember.
I think it was between him and Mr. Perfect. I think it was, and then Perfect kind of apologized before he passed away. And then Jake didn't even say nothing else, so he kind of confronted him. So that's one thing. And so Jake, like I said, not the best terms with the whole Hart family, which is so sad and all shit. So he put over Rey Mysterio because he knew that if something like him and Eddie, he would have definitely loved to work with these guys, And he did work with Benoit, with the tribute to Owen. I think if he didn't get hurt, he could have retired with good terms because it kind of bitter because he never got his retirement that he deserved. I mean, you don't want to count the WrestleMania with the U.S. title. That's like the way you count it to retirement, shit like that, But the thing with the whole Goldberg thing, one thing, and then today's wrestlers and all shit. And the funny part about it, he forgot who MJF is.
The audience, I believe, was they told him MJF, and he said, "Who?" My God, he had a program with MJF back in AEW, and how he defended himself. Oh, that shows how much I watch wrestling today. Yeah, go for the Raven quote.
I think probably now you don't watch AEW no more because a lot of things that I can't blame him. By the way, I can't blame him. Sorry, AEW fans, but sometimes I get more moments that I watch for a little bit, but if it's something that I get cringe or stuff, I say I can't do this no more. But I'll give you guys credit for the pay-per-views. They were good. The pay-per-views are good. I didn't go to the event because not going that far, 1, and 2, I had to come to work the next day, and 3, it's too much to travel back and forth. Remember WrestleMania, Dragon?
Yeah, I remember.
Remember how long we had to wait for the fucking Uber?
Wait. You talking about the one we went to WrestleMania, right? WrestleMania.
Yes. Remember how pouring rain and we had to wait for this damn Uber taxi shit? I told Hollywood that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't.
My heart is out for you guys. My heart is out.
Yeah. It wasn't. And you know what? It wasn't an Uber. We waited for a taxi. The taxi didn't take cash. They said, "Oh, we take credit card." I had money, and then Dorian had the credit card with him. I said, "Yo, I'll pay you when we get home." We did it, and we got home probably 3 a.m. Lucky for us, lucky for me, that I had the day off the next day because I requested it. So I got really lucky because the next day was my work day, but I did make the request to be off that day a few days ago before WrestleMania. But yeah, I'll never forget that, man. And I feel the pain from Dorian that he don't want to come back. He don't want to come all the way to Jersey for Full Gear because he lives in Connecticut. For me, it'd be easy for me because I live in Bayonne. I live like probably like 30 minutes away to go to Newark. Not a problem. I didn't go because I had to do some stuff like the next day. So I stayed at my friend's house just to watch the event, which was better because, I had free food, my friends, big ass TV, don't have to sit next to people bugging the shit out of me and also going all the way back home. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I was out with friends. I was out with my buddy just to a little bit, but I followed up the results and all that stuff. We knew FTR was going to win. I'm happy for Mark Briscoe. We knew that outcome was going to happen. And the best of all, Samoa Joe.
Well,
Joe.
At least Matt Briscoe at least he now has a singles belt. At least a meaningful one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. And also back to the Bret Hart thing. So we keep changing the subject. Sorry about that. Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of like, I want to open up. I wish you could have probably maybe put a book again. I want to read the stuff, and I can't wait to hear a lawsuit with everything. What's going to happen when you hear what Jake and then maybe Vince will put it into, like, damn it, Brett, again with this shit. I'm sorry I screwed you for a long time. That's been 28 years, damn it. And you gave me the loogie, damn it. You gave me the loogie. And yes, you give me a sucker punch. I fly like a little bitch and cry because you broke my heart. I know I did sleep with Shawn Michaels. Shh. Told you keep that a secret, damn it. I'm done. I'm done with this subject. But like I said, he just opened up. That's all. When you go.
Wait. Before Ecuador has to say, Attitude Era 2000. Does anybody know who's sleeping with who? Yeah, that's the line. Attitude Era 2000. I'm surprised at the statement he made about HBK. For 15 years, Bret has given HBK his flowers. That's true. But that attack came out of nowhere. Such a sad and pathetic person. I agree with that. Attitude Era. It's ironic how some things that Bret absolutely despises were done by Owen. The ribs in between matches and how he almost ended Austin's career and did nothing about it. Kind of Goldberg did with it. Ooh, that was the blow that just put the castle down. Ecuador.
I think, even though that if Vince did sleep with Shawn, then I guess Bret was doing some oral to Vince McMahon. He did it anyway, live television. He spat on him in front of the camera. I guess Vince like, you got to do it right in my mouth. And he spit him in his face. I guess that was probably the best loogie he ever had in his face. So I don't know why Bret was saying all those fantasies. Hey, there's nothing against it. This is back in the night, and right now at this time, I don't give a shit who's sleeping with, whatever, man. Male and male, female doesn't matter, or hermaphrodite, or whatever it is. But I just don't understand why Bret would say this type of stuff. Now, Hollywood, since you sent me that link yesterday, I did in fact went on YouTube, typed down Bret Hart interview. I saw the full interview, which was 1 hour and probably 1 hour and 15 minutes, and a lot of things that Bret was saying was hysterical. Now, what he said about Ray, the greatest of all time, Ray will always be one of the greatest. He'll always be one of the legendary luchadores of all time, but there will always be other ones too. Mm-hmm. Now, Bret didn't mention about Mil Mascara saying that he was an asshole, because I heard that Mil Mascara is kind of like similar to Bret. He wants everything to be real, to be stiff and stuff. So in case you guys know about the history of Mil Mascaras, he has a reputation of being in character and also wrestling, like being for real with stiff punches and stiff kicks. That's what I read about him. I don't know if you guys knew about that, but that's what I read online.
I read it on Mick Foley's very first book. He also has a script for Mil Mascaras.
So there you go. So since he mentioned that Mascaras is an asshole, same thing goes with Hulk Hogan, God rest his soul. Jake the Snake Roberts, yeah, even though that Jake just turned clean and stuff, I'm happy for him. Yeah, it's true. I heard that Jake was a dick. I get that too. Now for Brock Lesnar, yes, he's a professional, definitely professional. But the thing is that like when you give ideas to Brock that he wants, like for instance, like nobody wants to see Brock Lesnar get fucked up. The only two people in WWE who almost fucked up Brock Lesnar literally on television is Samoa Joe and Bobby Lashley. But in the end of the day, Vince McMahon don't want to see his beast get fucked up. And that's why they never gave these guys a chance to like, probably put a pinfall victory over Brock Lesnar. Well, even though Bobby Lashley did beat Brock, but by assistance and stuff. But I just don't understand what's wrong with Bret. I thought he got over with this shit. I thought he got over about Hogan. I thought he got over about Goldberg, which I just don't understand that. Yes, Goldberg could cuss his ass. I guess that fucking part. I guess the non-existent Parkinson just came in many years later, and first he said, "Oh, I forgive Goldberg for what he did to me," and now he hates him again. Like, can you just move on with your fucking life, man, and just let it go? And now you're saying that Goldberg's not professional, Brock is a professional. Yes, Brock is a professional. Goldberg, on the other hand, we saw his true colors right now. That this man was not happy about his retirement. What do you expect, man? You go to WWE, you asking for a retirement match, and WWE is not the right place to get a retirement tour, a retirement event. Well, except for John Cena because he's the greatest of all time. But saying that Rey Mysterio is the greatest of all time, that's too much, man. I mean, I get it that Rey is Rey. I'm a Rey Mysterio fan. I love Rey Mysterio, but he is not the greatest of all time. He's one of the greatest luchadores. But you go a list of luchadores who are considered the greatest. It goes from El Santo, Blue Demon, go on and on and on and on and on. Now, Brad, about the part when he mentioned about Vince McMahon probably sleeping with Sean, I couldn't stop laughing. All the stuff that he was talking about on the interview, seeing all these ridiculous shit. And also the part when he lost his smile, man. I get it. He lost his smile. I mean, I get Brett. I guess that Brett lost his smile too when he lost the fucking title getting screwed over. I mean, I know he did lost his smile, and I get that. You know what I mean? But I mean, yo, guys, but the thing is, the interview was just hysterical. The biggest the biggest topic of all was about Vince and Sean sleeping together. I mean, does he know? Did he investigate it?
He knows.
Did he? Maybe. I'm sorry to say this to Brett, but were you part of it? Maybe there was a love triangle between three because you guys were almost about to.
Maybe they were configuring a trios match.
I mean, maybe. I think the trio. I think the trios match was not meant for the ring. If you know what I'm talking about.
That's what I said. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was somewhere else that had no ropes and no turnbuckle, probably something soft. That's why Brett is kind of soft at the moment because seeing all this stuff, and also the part when he's saying that, oh, I missed the time when everyone's hitting hard and stuff like that. Dude, if you really want to fucking hit hard, why don't you go to fucking UFC? And then he said on the interview also about you said, oh, I'm not into that stuff. Then how come you saying all that shit about pro wrestling? Pro wrestling is all about choreography. It's not about being the fuck out of somebody else. It's true. We witnessed some things. Like, you ever heard that quote? I think we talked about it with Rampage's Jackson's son giving a receipt. It looks like Brett wants to give receipts in every single match many years ago as a professional wrestler in WWE. I think that's what he wanted. What he wanted. He wanted everything real. That's what he wanted.
Maybe
because No, go ahead.
Maybe he's still traumatized by the receipts that he got from Dynamite. So Dynamite Kid, by the way.
I mean, well, the receipt from Dynamite and also from WCW, the other thing in common is that both of them were broadcast on TNT, and it's kind of embarrassing too. But I don't understand why this man said, "Oh, I will never get involved in MMA." Like, then why the fuck you want to fight for real in professional wrestling? Go to fucking UFC. Go to MMA during your prime. But UFC wasn't created until like the mid-90s. He didn't want to do that. I'm glad his old man was more tougher than his son. He admitted it. Stu Hart was. I heard that he's one of the toughest dudes in pro wrestling. He was legit.
He was a shooter.
But yeah, he was a shooter. And I bet his father, if he was around if he was in his prime in the 90s and stuff, he would make a hell of a splash in MMA because he was the real deal. Not like his fucking son. Now I just don't get why that Brad cannot get over, man. That guy needs to like enjoy his fucking life. He accomplished everything. He's already became a world heavyweight champion in WWE, in WCW. He became an IC champion, United States. I think he was United States champion in WCW. Am I right or wrong? I mean, I think he was, right?
World champion.
And I was right. I remember right now.
U.S. champion, yes.
So, thank you. I knew it. Also, Hall of Famer. And also that one time, do you guys remember that one time that this fucking guy, when he made his return to WWE in private in 2005, when he got into the Hall of Fame in 2006, he said that the screw job, I said, without the screw job, I want to be in the Hall of Fame. This guy is a fucking clown. Do you guys remember when he said that shit in the induction ceremony, an induction speech? Like, that fucking guy said that shit. I bet that Vince paid him to say that shit. Because the reason why he came back, because they were planning to make a DVD about how they screwed his ass over. The same thing happened to the Ultimate Warrior. He had to come back because, years ago, they were talking shit about him without his consent about his career, about what happened to him. This man, he cares. He cares about his legacy, and also he cares about money, and also that since he's back in the WWE, he cares about his legacy more than his own family. He does. It's like right here in his fucking head. He can't get over the past. First he forgive, and now he's talking shit. I thought he got over with Shawn Michaels, and now he's talking about shit about Shawn and Vince McMahon at this interview, saying that these two men were sleeping with each other. And it's kind of, it was fucking hysterical. Like all the stuff he was talking about Vince and Shawn, he was heavily, and he was talking a lot about Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels. A lot. I wish I could say a lot of shit about Brett. Like, oh, so Brett, were you a witness seeing these two men like doing something backstage, like something going on, blah blah blah? Because I heard that Vince and Shawn were crying when Shawn had to drop the title because he lost his smile. Do you know about that? Do you know that they were doing something? Maybe they were doing some interesting activities. Maybe they were doing pocket pull backstage during the show. I don't know. I just don't get it. Like, Bret Hart, I respect him as a professional wrestler. Always will be one of the greatest of all time. And he's still considered the best there is, best there was, but the best ever will be. But the guy, I can see that he's still becoming sort of like Vince McMahon, becoming a senile old man. I just don't understand why. He needs to let it go. He needs to move on. I understand he was talking shit about everybody else, and also about Sheamus too. I heard about Sheamus. He was talking shit about Sheamus also. I don't understand. What I realized? I realized that this man, I think he did talk shit about Walter. I think this man has some little bit of issues with European wrestlers. I just don't get it. And Sheamus, I understand that, he does. He's entertaining. In real life, he's a great guy. But why you gotta talk shit about this man? Like, come on, leave him alone. And also about MJF, that's fucked up. That was really, really fucked up. That this guy said, "Who?" I'm like, and I wish I could tell him, dude, were you in the program with this man? When you present the AEW World Title on television, we were there. You presented it.
That's why I'm saying he took the Raven quote. Because Raven did the same thing with Mark Cardona.
So Raven quote, so he said nevermore, like this, nevermore. But still, I just don't understand, what it's like. I think somebody else did something to his brain, while he was gone, or in Canada, maybe they got some really interesting, funny substance that he was taking before the interview. Maybe that's why. He's in Canada. And Canada is his home country. Also, Montreal is the city that they respect the fuck out of Brett. Maybe they gave him something before the interview, and he's saying things that he forgot and saying things that he hate again. I think he took some funny cigarettes or something, or probably some interesting food that has some green stuff on it. I don't know what it is. But Bret Hart, great wrestler, a legend. He will always be the best of us, the best it will be. All that stuff. But this guy needs to enjoy his retirement and let the fucking past go. Please, Brett, stop talking about the bullshit. And I want to see that book that he wrote. I got to check it out.
So do I. Last comments around here at 2000. What's one of your biggest what ifs in terms of careers that didn't go as initially expected? I don't know why, but Mordecai always comes to mind. What ifs? That depends on which organization are we talking about. I
got something too. I got something anyway. Like a what if it's dead or alive, then that's cool. I got something for someone who's gone, who's not here anymore. Two people. If Owen Hart was not gone, he would definitely have a resurgence in the 2000s in WWF. And he would probably potentially be like a mid-card champion and possibly maybe like in mid-2000s or late 2000s become world champion if he was around in WWF. I would definitely what if he does become like a bigger star and a resurgence, because that time right there in the Ruthless Aggression, he would have been a big star. Imagine the dream matches he had, like with Benoit, with Guerrero, with Angle. How amazing would that be? Having this man like being alive, being faithful with the WWE. That's my what if for now for Owen Hart. And you know what? I always thought about that like while celebrating the anniversary of his passing, like what if he wrestled some of those guys in the Ruthless Aggression? That would have been amazing. That would have been legendary. Imagine that, man. Some of those amazing.
Shit, there'll be more stories too. There'll be more stories of Owen.
And serious stories too, not bullshit stories, not some crappy stories and stuff. That would have been great. But also, here's one little trivia too, for in case you guys didn't know. Like while Owen Hart was in Japan, he did in fact wrestle. I found out a while back. He did wrestle Benoit and Guerrero in Japan, but both of them was Wild Pegasus and also Black Tiger II. He was wrestling them back then. And that was an interesting. I even checked out the videos, and the matches wasn't the greatest, man, but it was really fun to watch. I mean,
and you know that this is his final wrestling career match. It was in the house show. I think he faced Kurt Angle, and then on his final, I think on television was with Edge.
Actually, though, both of them were dark matches. There was one dark match with
both of them. Okay.
Yeah, there were dark matches, and also the only evidence that we had was a picture of Kurt Angle doing a hip toss to Owen. You could only see the back of Owen's body, and that's it. Now, his last and final match was a house show. He was teaming up with somebody else against Edge and Christian, and that was the last time we saw Owen right there before the tragedy.
Maybe with Jeff. Sorry? Maybe with Jeff. Remember when they still teaming?
With Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett, yeah. I think, because he was teaming up with Jeff Jarrett during that, man. But that was the time that he didn't have in the dark matches, he wasn't wearing.
Were you there when we met Jeff? Were you there when Jeff Jarrett was in House of Glory?
Yeah, I was there. I got a picture of him.
Remember we did this. Remember I did the stroke?
I didn't see that. I came late, bro.
Oh, you came late, yeah, because I did the stroke when I saw him. I went like this to Jeff Jarrett, like this, a stroke. And I told him straight up, I'm not kidding. I told him straight up, man, hey, thank you for entertainment. And, you know, I enjoy you and Owen. I really do miss Owen a lot. He was so sad about it. Like he said, I miss Owen a lot. I told him Owen was my favorite. And I enjoy you with you and Owen. And I appreciate you brought TNA in the pro wrestling. Thank you. I told Jeff Jarrett straight up. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm happy that you met him, man. That was what's up.
Yeah, I'm a fan of him. I like Jarrett.
Yeah, Jarrett's a good guy, man. I mean, also he still is a good guy. People were talking shit about him because he's an AEW and all that stuff, but I get it, man, because he's not what he is right now, but at least he's doing what he's doing backstage in AEW. That's what matters to me. But the what if for me, man, Owen, I mean, he would have a resurgence in the 2000s. If he was alive, I mean, he would probably get some banger, legendary matches in the Ruthless Aggression era. Definitely, man.
That's always been my favorite wrestler.
Yeah, and also, this is off topic right now, but well, sort of. November is like really a difficult month because let's see, the 20th anniversary of Eddie. I think the 3rd or 4th anniversary of of losing Jason David Frank, the original Green Ranger, and also the voice of Batman.
7 years. 7 years of our best friend.
Yeah, and also God rest his soul, Coyote too. Like
7 years.
And yeah, like yes, man. November, man. I'll never forget that, man. I mean, now we're talking. You see, guys, like November is like a really difficult month for all of us. I mean, and also, like I think I told Hollywood also when I first met him that before we went on the air for the first time, my first appearance in Desde Ringside Ecuador, I was supposed to meet Coyote in my last visit at Ecuador, and I never got a chance to meet him. He told me that we wanted to hang out, but I lost that opportunity. And I told Dorian about it, and I told my mom about it, and my mom told me that, oh, you should have hang out with him. And and I heard like wonderful stuff about your friend, about your brother, that he's a great guy, but I never had a chance to meet him. And
wonderful.
I talked to him on Facebook to chill with him and shit. And he was a super cool dude, and I lost my chance. The only evidence I had was talk to him on Facebook. Wonderful guy, great guy. God rest his soul for real, man.
Yeah, my only memories I got 2 memories with him. First time meeting everybody, including Hollywood, all of us in the locker room, and everybody was asking questions about wrestling in the United States. Remember that? Everybody asking that question. And then the other time after the match, he got burned from the table. And pobrecito, me and Miguel, Rampage, we went out to get cured and everything because he's a doctor. Well, he's studying. Now he's a doctor. We went out to downtown. We ended up getting soup to get it. Soup. That's the memory of me and him. Soup.
I got one that I never shared with anyone. With Antonio, and it just so happens that I wrestle him. You may not know this. As a matter of fact, nobody knows this. But I actually wrestle him.
I'm jealous.
It was not an official match. It was an impromptu match with Mike Punisher. Some of the job guys and myself, we were just kind of like clowning around, doing maneuvers, and we were almost like tossing each other to see who could work with whom. And Antonio is being tossed to me. At the time, he was Eliel La Lama. We were on the War promotion.
Eliel, yep.
Eliel, he was known as Eliel La Lama.
I remember that name.
So he gets tossed to me, and I was going to do my version of the Twist of Fate, which I call it the Spunkydelic, because it's a double Twist of Fate that ends up in a neck breaker. But when I was going to do it, Antonio tagged me on the wrist and said, not here because you are on the steps. And of course, since we were clowning around, we were not kind of not protecting each other. We're kind of like tossing, doing the mimics and all that stuff. And when I was about to punch it, he goes like this. He said, no, the stairs. And I said, yeah, sorry. And he did a reversal, and he tossed me to Mike Punisher, who gave me a belly to back suplex. And guess what? I was the ring announcer, and when Mike grabbed me and he hoisted me up, I was, oh my God, my back is gonna give. He protected me. So,
oh, good. Because I was concerned because I know you have back issues and like that. But like I said, my memories with him, one more thing, we always play, I go to his house, play video games, Mortal Kombat. I kicked his ass several times. And then he finally won. He brags about it like, I finally beat you. And I'm like, motherfucker, you were lucky. I beat his ass in Mortal Kombat. So he thinks he's the king of it. I played with him online, and I beat him before my issues with Ecuador. I defeated him a lot in Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 9, actually.
We're down to the last call, guys. I want to thank you for being here once again with the Zero Zensura thing. We're down to the last call, and let's just say that, Brett, you really need to move along. You need to let this thing go. Definitely. As for Mike and Hangman Adam Page, well, I just hope that in the case of Hangman Adam Page, AEW makes it, makes something better out of what happened. It kind of like, I feel like a little bad taste in my mouth because they build up to both guys so much. They so much of a great story, and they just take the belts away. One of them 4 months, the other one 2 or 3 weeks. But it hurts most of the Santana side because the guy's a hard worker. The guy has been having his demons. Thank goodness he finally got rid of them. Unfortunately, the Latin American exchange will be no more. But he's now he has the right to call himself a superstar. And he has every right to be the world champion. To me, TNA passed a beautiful opportunity to have someone who could rise up as the face of the company since they lost Joe Henry. And in the case of Hangman Adam Page, okay, so I understand kind of the fact of the situation, but we're talking about a guy, Samoa Joe, who's gonna just go to do a TV show in the middle of his run as a champion. I understand that the office gave him the belt so he could have one final run, but you could have waited before Hangman would have been the champion. Maybe become a triple threat. I don't know what he's thinking over there, but guys, in the end, all of you need to do a lot better.
Yeah. All right. For Hangman, not a big deal. He's fine without becoming a world champion. He lost it. Doesn't matter. I mean, that didn't bother me. He's going to be fine. He's not getting screwed by AEW because he is still one of AEW's biggest stars. Mike Santana, I wish him luck, man. I just hope that if he does go to WWE, they better do something right about this man because that I seen this man wrestle. I've been a fan of this guy probably since 2016 because the first time I saw him in House of Glory with Ortiz. It's going to be 9 years since I know this guy, and I just hope that they push him really good in NXT. Or if he shows up the main roster, then I don't know what's going to happen. I just hope they do really well with him. I forgot to say this in during the conversation with Mike Santana. What if this man comes out of nowhere, go back just like what Andrade did? If he goes back to AEW, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And that'll be a fucking shot. I know, Hollywood. I know. But still, I'm just saying because look what happened to Andrade. You saw what happened to this man. There's
a difference. There's a difference.
I know that. I'm just saying, guys. But but I know that's not gonna happen. It'll be a fucking shot. You know how professional wrestlers are. Now Santana's a hard worker. I hope they push him really well. It better happen. Now Bret Hart, the fucking hitman. I mean, I don't know how many times he took a lot of hits from this man. This man took a lot of hits in his head. He's not the hitman. He's been hit a lot by his own man right here. I just don't get it, man. I mean, I can't even say the right wise words and stuff like that, but Bret Hart needs to stop with all the stuff he tells about the past. He has to let it go. Please cherish the memories he had when he was world champion, the people that he worked with and stuff. Just drop the shit and enjoy your fucking retirement. I don't give a fuck what happened in the past. I don't give a fuck that, you're saying that, first I forgave this person, now I don't like him and stuff like that. I thought you got over with, man. Let it go. You're in your fucking, I don't know how old this man is, in the 60s and 70s now, and he needs to let it go. Just move on, Bret. Please, Bret. And also, just when you go to the conventions and meet your fans and stuff, just choose your words carefully when you answer the questions of some of the fans because I just don't know. But Bret, just be a happy old man and stop being bitter, just like Vince McMahon. So there you go.
D-Man.
All right, go now.
Call.
Let's go.
Okay, so I think Heyman will be okay. I think probably they would rather him chase the belt than have the belt for it for a while. But I think he'll be okay. Once again, I'm already. I don't want to say enough about Santana. I already said in my piece already. That was the last call I did put it when you put me a big screen. For the Bret Hart thing, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna say it is what it is because he's been going through so much and all stuff. Lost a lot of people and all. Wish him hopefully that now he's with being still hard with a lot of kids and grandkids. And I mean, he's not had many kids. He has 4 kids, and he has so many grandchildren. Bless him. And also, he's dealing with his daughter. Look, God bless her that she recovered from breast cancer that she had. So that's a lot of stuff that he was doing in his personal life. So probably that's something what Bret Hart maybe sometimes when people going through with this, I could understand with that, probably with health issue or people dealing with their health with family. That's what people are very different with that, So I would defend on that part. But other than that, last call. Yes, indeed, November is one of the things that lots of people, especially we told stories about our dear friend Antonio Nicolas Carceranini, one of our brothers that we love. And we really appreciate him a lot for all the stuff that he did for us, especially with wrestling, outside of wrestling, and music, outside of music, and our personal lives that we always be talking about. So that's pretty much my last call. Rest in peace.
Well, folks, that's about does it for this edition of Primetime Wrestling. I hope you enjoy it. If you just came over here, well, all you have to do is rewind the tape and see it from the beginning. You can leave your comments in the box below. For Jesse the Body, Bobby the Brain Heenan, this is the Gorilla saying, so long, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday. Good fight. Good night.